Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai, and for today's video I decided to make this really cute, really charming, kind of French country style cottage in the world of Tartosa. There you can see all the gorgeous mountains in the back. I just love this world. And anyways, I looked up a lot of inspiration photos on Pinterest in order to build this, and something that I noticed is that the shape of the build or of these kinds of houses are usually very simple, and all of that charm, all of that style really comes through with the windows and the landscaping. So that's kind of what I went with here, and I think that simplicity was really good for me this week because I wasn't able to post it all last week. I was very sick, and I wasn't able to record, I wasn't able to build. Anytime that I wasn't in bed, my head was just really foggy and I wasn't really able to use any screens. So yeah, sadly I wasn't able to post, but I think that it actually ended up being okay because this helped me arrange my new kind of posting schedule, recording schedule, because I am hoping to start making posts or making videos twice a week instead of once a week. So instead of my usual Friday posts, I'm hoping to start posting, I think, on Wednesdays and Sundays. Probably might be adjusting it a little bit based on like engagement and things like that. So let me know actually what days you're more likely to watch, because yeah, I kind of want to mold it around what you guys enjoy. So yeah, the exterior came together quickly. Like I said, the shape was easy, and we are starting on the interior now. My favorite place to start furnishing is always the kitchen. I think that it always like really gives you a window into what a person's routine is or a household's routine is, and I genuinely believe that it is the heart of the home. So I always find it a great place to start because it really gives me a vibe of the people that live here. And I used a lot of cottage living. I used the fridge from the country kitchen kit, and I made the little breakfast nook with the table and chairs from the paranormal stuff pack. I think I used those chairs just virtually everywhere in this build. I just thought it like screamed French country. But yeah, I also used the curtains. I made the curtains out of the blinds from Cottage Living and the curtains from Cats and Dogs. I had a really hard time figuring out the curtains. You don't see it in the video, I cut all that out. But yeah, when I found that combination, it just worked really perfectly, and I'm really happy with it. And I also really love this living room. I love those little lavender couches. They're just base game, and I don't think I've ever gotten to use that swatch. So I'm really happy that I found that because I just really like the colors, especially because I wanted to bring in a little bit more lavender, which I use a lot on the exterior. So getting to bring that into the interior, it just felt right. And you do see me fidgeting a lot with kind of the other components of the living room, putting in that armchair and putting in that old TV. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to lay that out. I was trying to look for something that felt like it flowed naturally. It was a bit difficult, but I think in the end it turned out okay. And I'm also glad that I was able to include a piano, and I never put a fishbowl in any of my builds, so I also thought that was a cute thing to add. And I fidgeted a lot with the clutter on the fireplace, but later on I ended up removing some of it because I just felt like I don't know, I didn't feel like the people that lived here were cluttered people. So yeah, I ended up leaving it a little bit cleaner, a little bit simpler. So you will see that change in the screenshots. And of course, if you download this build, which if you want to, it is going to be on the gallery, just under the same kind of handle that I use on YouTube, maiplaysthesims. Yeah, you can look it up, find it on the gallery, along with all of my other builds that I post on this channel. And yeah, I just highly recommend you check it out. I'm also really glad I got to use that grandfather clock because that's also an item that I never ever use. Has no function, but it looks really nice. And we are starting on the study. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to keep the same colors that I used in the rest of the house. I really liked that chair, but I just couldn't make it work with the swatches, so I switched it for this cottage living chair, and I put in a typewriter, and I started off with a shelf, but I ended up just putting, I think, just a base game gallery wall up there. And yeah, just kind of, again, some simple, tasteful clutter around. I don't think they're going to be very cluttered people. I also don't know if the people that live here full time. I end up decorating it. It has 4 bedrooms, so I end up making obviously one the primary bedroom, and then one kind of what I think is like a grandparent's bedroom, and then 2 kids' rooms. One is a double, one is a single. And yeah, so I don't really know if the people that live here are here full time or if this is just kind of like their vacation home. Obviously you can play with it however you want, but yeah, I think I made it functional enough for both of those things. And here in the entryway, I just put in that little armchair, which I don't know if you saw that swatch glitch. I don't know if you've seen that one in your game, but yeah, I just end up using this simple white one. And then I sort of just clutter up the rest of the entryway. Not a very functional space, but I really love this portrait from base game, and I love that they added all those other swatches. However, the other swatches aren't in the same style as that first swatch, so when I want to use it with like the same portrait but other styles, I can't, and it's really sad. But we have moved on to the dining room, which is the last downstairs space. And there you can see me use those paranormal chairs again, which I absolutely adore. And yeah, I leave the space a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, and just a little bit of decor, rugs, things like that. I add a hutch, there you see, and I also add like the divider, which I never used dividers, but I thought it kind of filled in that space really nice. And I mean, I don't know if it's some kind of antique and that's why they kept it in here, because it doesn't really have that much function, but it does look nice. And here in the parents' room, I love this parents' room. You can probably tell because I used it in the thumbnail, but there is just something about this room that I am so proud of, so happy with. I think it's the fact that I mixed in so many colors that I don't usually do, and like I just don't usually mix these like greens with the whites and things like that, like the light woods and stuff. I don't know, I am not one to mix so many different swatches and styles, but I tried it in this build and it looked so nice. So yeah, I think it's just pride. That's probably why I kept it. And I used the same armchair that I placed in the living room, and yeah, this lamp as well, which I think I used this exact same one in the living room too. You know, it's their house, it's the primary bedroom, so they're bound to repeat themselves if they really like a piece. And yeah, I just really like the style of this. I used just a lot of like base game, and that bed is from Cottage Living. I think it's just the default swatch, and sometimes I'm swayed to not use the default swatch because I want to be a little bit different. But I think, I don't know, the colors worked out really nice, and even that rug, I had a hard time picking a rug in here, but yeah, I think this one, I don't know, the muted green just turned out really nice. And here in this left corner, I was trying to put a shelf or a bookshelf or something, and I ended up landing on this one, which I think is from Growing Together, but I really think that we need more of these kind of like half tile bookshelves or shelves, because they would be way more functional in our game. And this bedroom that we're at now is the kind of grandparents' room that I imagined. And if your like Sims do live here full time, then I don't know if the grandparent also lives here full time or if they just come to visit, because I didn't include too much clutter and like, I don't know, life into this room, because I wasn't sure, maybe they're just moving in, or I don't really know what their routine is. But I had a bit of a hard time finding a personality for the grandparent. I think they travel a lot, because I put in a lot of like little travel, like what is it, just like clutter. I added this like painting gallery wall. I think that is called the like well-traveled something, and I also put in a shelf, which I think is from Growing Together, that has like the suitcases and like little little knickknacks, little like figurines and stuff, just kind of show a very cultured, well-traveled person. And I also add this little, I think it's called keepsake box, because I think they're gonna give that to their favorite grandchild, because that's probably one of the coolest things from growing together. I think it's so cute. This is the shelf that I was talking about. I really like this style. I think that I kind of want to recreate it in my own life. I think it would be really cool to see like a real life version of that, get some antique suitcases. But anyways, we have started on the single kids bedroom, and we are starting off very pink. I'm using a base game bed, base game wallpaper, and yeah, I just end up switching it to just the blue swatch. Looks practically the same, just blue instead of pink. And I'm using the curtains from the Modern Lex kit. I thought they looked very sweet, very flowy and nice. And yeah, we ended up using a lot of base game in this room, which I'm really glad that I got to do. Sometimes I just go a little bit crazy with my packs, but getting to use a lot of base game in this felt almost like purifying. And I put in a violin and just a little seat. I keep this one simple. I imagine that if they don't live here full time, that this sim is kind of like on their way out of the house. I imagine that they're a teenager, and yeah, they're kind of like just finishing up high school and they're getting ready to go to university. So I also didn't clutter this one up too much. I kept it very simple, and yeah, it's still very sweet, though a lot of flowers. I thought that was really cute. And I add just a couple of posters. I removed those last two, yeah, just to keep it a little bit cleaner, I think. And it still looks nice. I end up using this one from Parenthood. I end up using that one like everywhere. And it's, I don't know, I just love adding it to kids' rooms. And we are starting on the double kids room. I imagine that this one is for two just like child age sims. And at first I was going to keep it like very simple and add just that toy box, but I do end up changing that because I don't usually add too much personality for children, or at least for like children's rooms when I'm building just for the channel, because I never really know what to add, but I end up putting in that like art table, and I think it looks really nice. And I add a shelf here. This way I'm saying that we need more like small shelves for the Sims, because I'm making my own bookshelf here, just using like the books from like the clutter and this shelf, which I think it's from high school years. I mean, it still looks cute, but it was a bit of a pain to have to make it myself. And here I think I end up just putting in a little stool. Yeah, I end up putting in a little stool. It still looks really nice, and I think just like some more art on the walls. Yeah, this room actually turned out really cute. I wasn't expecting it to turn out so nice. I had no idea what I wanted going into this room. I think I had more of an idea for the other ones, but for this one I was kind of going in blindly. So I love when that happens, where you have no idea where something's gonna go and it still ends up looking really nice. I don't know, I feel very accomplished when I don't give up. So yeah, just adding a little bit more clutter. I think I add like some backpacks around. I'm so glad that they added more swatches to this like base game backpack, because yeah, it fits way more personalities, looks really cute. And yeah, I also love this little teddy bear with the yellow heart. I switch it to the one with the yellow heart. There, you saw that. And picking a rug. I always try to fit in the sheep rug, but I end up changing it to this base game one, bringing in some orange, making it a little bit warmer. And we are starting off on the backyard now, and I love that pergola, which I think is just a base game one. It looks super nice. And starting off also with just furnishing the greenhouse. This one is very simple. I just add the decorating, the flower arranging table. That's what it is. I add the flower arranging table, add just a lot of planters around, and I also end up adding a little armchair. You'll see me add that later. Over here I wanted some hanging plants, but I just couldn't get it to look right, so I end up removing that. But I do end up adding these curtains that I don't remember what kit they're from, but they are perfect, and I love putting them in my greenhouses. I think they just always complete the space, make it they just fill it with life. And here in the corner, I add this armchair from Horse Ranch, which is the same one that I added in the entryway, except I used a different swatch, and I just add a little, like, I don't know what, end table next to it with this teapot from Cottage Living and that little tray, which I think is from Book Nook. I love using that tray everywhere, and pairing it with that teapot made me so happy because, I don't know, it just looks like they're actively sitting there and pouring themselves tea, and it looks so cute. I can just see whoever lives here just hiding in the greenhouse, maybe hiding from the family, sitting on that armchair and just, I don't know, just enjoying the warmth and the light and the life in that greenhouse. This makes me really want a greenhouse in real life. I live in an apartment though, so that is probably just a goal for the future. And under the pergola, I add just like this outdoor seating, and again, I use the chairs from Paranormal. However, I use it in just the pure like white swatch instead of I think I use like the kind of creamy light beige swatch inside. And these pots that you see are actually just like from the Live Edit objects. Yeah, I was absolutely scouring the Live Edit object menu that I just got the mod from Twisted Mexi, the Better Build Buy mod, and changed my life, absolutely changed my life. And here you see me placing these stones, which are also from the Live Edit object menu, and oh my goodness, this part is, I think, like 2 times faster than the rest of the video. It took me so long to place each individual stone. I don't know why I was so obsessed with making it look exactly perfect, I don't know, it's such a small detail, but my perfectionism just like took over. And it's really funny because I don't think about myself as a perfectionist, but I had a rude awakening in therapy one time when I didn't know why I was so stressed, and I was like, oh, you know, I do the bare minimum, I don't know why I'm so stressed. And my therapist was like, oh, well, if you're not a perfectionist, you shouldn't be getting straight A's. And then I was like, oh, you know what, you're probably right, I probably am a perfectionist, and it's probably going to be my downfall. But hey, at least the stones look nice. So your move, anxiety. And thankfully, that tangent has brought us to the end of the stone fiasco. Hopefully in the future, I'll be quicker at placing these, because I don't want to say I hated myself by the end of it, but I hated something. And anyways, we have also started on terrain paint. And terrain paint is that thing that I didn't know that it was missing from my builds until I started adding it, because it makes everything just look so much more natural and like on purpose. Like it's, I don't know, more real. I don't really know how to describe it, but I love adding it to my builds, and I recommend that you start doing that too if you really want to transform them. And I love the monkey bars that I added too. I just want to point those out. So we have also just added some more seating around. I added some, as you saw, at the back door, and some right here at the door that's kind of off of the dining room, in case you don't want to go all the way to the pergola, and some lounge chairs as well for some tanning. And you can see that I have pink shutters around the doors. I did that at the beginning, and you'll see it throughout the rest of the video. However, in the screenshots you'll see, and I think you probably saw also at the beginning kind of pan of the build, that I ended up switching those to brown. When I was looking at the exterior of the build, kind of everything all together, it just felt like the pink and the green together was just too much. So I ended up switching it to the brown, and I think it does look a lot better and highlights a lot of the other more important parts of the build instead of kind of drawing all the attention to the pink shutters. Let me know if you agree with that change. I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, I just think it was too much for this particular one. And yeah, just adding a little bit more landscaping around. I add just as much lavender as I can, and also adding a couple of stones just to kind of, I don't know, make sure the lavender isn't lonely. I don't know, it just makes it look better. I don't know if it's that it makes it look lonely if it doesn't, but it definitely makes it look like it has a friend. And yeah, just kind of trying to size some of them down, try to make it a little bit more interesting, not all the same. And you also see that there's window boxes on all the windows. I ended up removing those too, it just felt too busy. So yeah, I really love the windows that I used on the greenhouse. I think I used the ones from the industrial kit, which is not a great kit, but I do love those windows. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it for all the windows, but anyways, we're starting with the screenshots. Yay! There you can see I had switched the front, the shutters to the brown. But yeah, just some shots all around. I did it in the morning light. I thought it would look better. A part of me now kind of feels like it's maybe a little bit too dark. But there you can see I added a lot of ivy from the live edit objects. I think it looks amazing. I think they're the ones from university, and it just looks so good. I love the live edit object menu. Here is the entryway. I did add just a little bit more clutter off camera, and yeah, just looks really nice, really simple. Not very functional, but it still looks cute. Everything is for aesthetics. And I do have 2 mirrors in here, which doesn't make too much sense, but again, aesthetics, they just looked really nice. And this is a study, kind of simple. There you can see the like gallery wall that I added. It's just base game, looks really nice. And the living room, I love this living room. There you can see that I removed some of the clutter that I had added before. It just looks way cleaner, and yeah, I think the wallpaper is also just already so busy, so I don't think you need any more busyness. And there you can see I also added another one of those base game portraits. And the kitchen, I love this kitchen, the little blue kitchen. I also added a little bit more clutter in here, just base game, and I think the country kitchen kit were the main ones I used for that clutter. And the dining room with those chairs, I love these chairs. I want some of them in real life, although I do remember I had a rocking chair growing up that it was made out of like that same kind of wicker, and they break really easily, unfortunately. But yeah, the hallway, I didn't include this in the video, but I think it looks really nice. In the bathroom, I also didn't include this, but yeah, I kept it simple. It's possibly being shared by like 5 people or 6 people, so I tried to keep it simple. And the primary bedroom, obviously I can't get my words out all of a sudden, but yeah, the primary bedroom, really nice. I love how I got to mix all those colors. I think I'm very, very proud of myself for that. They all match the duvet on the bed. I just love that, it's so cute. And here's the grandparents' room, probably the simplest of all the rooms. You could probably add more stuff if you had more like of an idea of what the grandparents' personality is, or you can turn it into another kid's room if you want. And of course the single kid's room, the older kid who is probably on their way out. Yeah, this doesn't look like a very cluttered teenager's room. Maybe it was at some point, but not anymore. And the kids' room, I love how this one turned out. I kind of love how the parents' room is blue and green, and then the kids' rooms are blue and green. I love that. It's so cute. It's like, I don't know, it's one of those things. It's like, it's not a coincidence, but it kind of is. Or like, it is a coincidence, but it's kind of not. Vice versa. And here's the greenhouse. I love the roof of the greenhouse. It looks so, so nice, and I'd love to just chill in here. So cute. But this does actually bring us to our last few screenshots. There you can see just that nice little hangout area, and I just love this build so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Bye buds, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Comment what you think and share with your friends. I'll talk to y'all soon.